Uranium Friends checking in on the sector of a heck of a day on Friday, right? So, not gonna lie here, a little hungover, so gonna try to breeze through this as quickly as possible. So, URA on the weekly here, as I've been saying for a very, very, very long time, the metric in the space is the weekly 12 EMA, and it's still rejecting from there, right? So, in order for the first step to regain some sort of look for a trend, is that we need to get over that 12 EMA. That would be nice. We also have the potential of a uh, weekly head and shoulders, kind of giving a little bit of a possibility, right? And I've talked about this multiple times. NXC for sure. NXC looks like it's actually having its weekly head and shoulders play out. We'll talk about that shortly. But anyway, that's the deal. Yeah. So, um, quite the unwind on Friday. You know, I had speculated that there's a possibility of a fund letting go of their positions and getting liquidated because this is something that you see. And I was following this action, right? So you could see the market makers is just, this is a full blown controlled, absolute sell off, no relief bounces. Usually when that happens, it's the market makers are trying to fill some a whole bunch of sell orders, right? So it's a liquidation to me. That just looked that way to me. 30 years in trading equities and real estate and bonds and precious metals and flipping businesses and whatnot, you can start to recognize these things. Anyway, so the hourly um, on CCJ as a quick one. I mean, it held this level. It's holding its daily level. The hourly made it has set this level. So the most important short term level right now is 40.70. But we're not really talking about CCJ. We're talking about URA. Anyway, URA is still, you could say it's still technically holding on the daily. It's 12 EMA. It's still maintaining its daily uptrend. So that will not be lost until 27.44 level is compromised. So what do I mean? Low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. So in order to lose this uptrend, it needs to lose 27.44. When that happens, that doesn't mean it's a downtrend. It just means it's going into an EQ. And then you have to wait to see if it confirms a daily downtrend, which would mean it would make a lower high and then a lower low. And that's kind of what we're looking for, you know, and URA is probably going to be the guide. So hopefully it holds here, makes its next bounce. I don't even know why that didn't do that, but makes its next bounce, makes another new high, and makes another one, continues on. That's what we're hoping for. Um, doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen, right? So that's the deal. The weekly 12 EMA on URA and the 50-day moving average of 50 EMA. Everything is, these moving averages are starting to be the resistance points. And if they continue being the resistance points, well, that just doesn't go for a day or two or a week or two. You could still have some more extension on this downtrend, right? So, you know, the, if the short-term trends do not hold and they start, you know, breaking down, which is a very distinct possibility, then you're going to be in for some more drawdown as far as the space is concerned. And you could easily see this happen, right? And this is weeks and weeks, right? Once it lost its uptrend in November 2021, it wasn't until really February of 2022 where it started to regain it and didn't really do much. So this was all sideways chop. That's easily a possibility in this space. I hope everybody understands that, regardless of all these foolish cheerleaders in the space saying, just hold long forever and all that stuff. You do whatever you want to do. It's all based on entries. Guess what? If my entries, which some of them are, my entries were all the way down here, I'm still holding. I got no problem doing that, right? It's all going to be entry dependent. Yeah, so URNM is still maintaining its daily uptrend as well. So 47.67 is the spot that needs to hold for that, right? Let's just look at this weekly real quick. Yep, 12 EMA rejection, same type of deal, but a much in a different sense. I mean, these moving averages are slightly different. I will have to check my chart settings because it makes no sense to me right now that it's like that. So, yeah, I took the liberty on URNJ just to draw this silly little trend lines that some people think that's the what you're supposed to be living by. But yeah, that's in that respect, that's a breach. We've lost the 12 EMA. We've also lost the daily uptrend. So this could URNJ could be going into some sort of EQ, hopefully, instead of certainly don't want to see this level break down here. We got some levels down here we don't want to see break. But end of the day, end of the video story is for the ETFs, bear flag, bear flag, bear flag, right? Weekly, daily, bear flags. Bear flag weekly, bear flag weekly, bear flag weekly. Okay, so that's the deal. What's we need to get over a 50% retracement on these names. URA did some good work. I said it in my last video. I said URA is looking better than the other ETFs right now, and it most certainly is because it's showing some hope here, right? Because it's kind of made it up to that 50% retracement where you can start to say, hey, there's a good chance that the bear flag does not confirm. So, with the size of this 2-week bounce here, the it's it the more likely scenario is a higher low as compared to that level right there, 2679. I think is that the exact number, 2683. That's what we're looking to see if that holds. At least that's what I'm looking for, right? So that's the deal on those names. Let's just take a look quickly. So CCJ on the daily, there's a lot going on here, and that's why this is chopping. If you remember in my last video, I said do not be surprised if we get a rejection in the 43 to 45 area, and we got that rejection. I said don't be surprised, so you shouldn't have been surprised. Anyway, there's a lot of chop going on here, right? But this is a great move. It did take out, the most important level for me was 43. It took it out, which is good, right? An immediate snapback test. So, but we've got a lot of factors again that are just creating chop because there's some moving average metrics and there's some resistance profiles and whatnot. But there's good support here on the volume profile. You have your anchored VWAP as acting as support. I don't like the daily 12 EMA breach, but it's undercuts are to be expected. But we did we got over it handily. The snapback wasn't the best, so it's just kind of like a wait and see. It's absolutely a bear flag, and a weekly 12 EMA rejection. Weekly 12 EMA is the guide for the space, whether you like it or not. DNN probably all going to kind of look the same, but some of them, UEC it looks a little wonky too. Denison hasn't lost its daily uptrend either, right? So I did post of some of my entries here, and I believe my entry was right in here. $1.84 is when I picked up Denison, and it was right in here. It was definitely like Thursday or Wednesday or Thursday or whatever. So $1.84, and I said if $1.74 breaks down, I'm out. It doesn't matter. I don't care. It's just a trade. If I lose that 10 cents on that trade, no harm, no foul. Denison's not my favorite name. Fundamental guys will say it's the one to be in, but whatever. We're just dancing around this weekly 12 EMA, expecting, Denison, on the other hand, you'll see these undercuts to this 26 EMA, right? So as long as this blue line holds, fantastic. And that's what I said. $1.74. was the spot that I needed to hold for this particular trade that I made. So Denison has not lost its daily uptrend. So even with all of this chop, and it is just chop, so you can, nimble traders can trade it. They're playing these ranges. That's fine. I'm trying not to be that guy. Uh, that's the deal. Encore Energy, I talked about this 4-hour falling wedge. I posted how it broke. I did take an entry. I'm working off of this 375 level. I'll probably give it some room because one could think that it's going to try to shake everybody out. But, you start to see these volume profiles. Let me just see on the monthly on that volume profile what it looks like. Yeah. Yeah. So, certainly want 317 to hold, but if if this 365 area doesn't hold, then we're going a little bit further down. And has monthly consolidation begun? It has, right? So monthly consolidation here, with a no, yeah, with a lower low. So and monthly consolidation can last a long time. Just remember that. So if monthly consolidation begins and continues, the next thing that I'm looking at is this monthly 12 EMA. How's the reaction there? Same deal with everything else in the space, right? Weekly 12 EMA with the 50-day moving average rider, as I've been talking about for over a year now. So still in that deal, still a weekly bull flag. Nice little weekly double bottom here. Has it lost its daily uptrend? Well, it hasn't even confirmed one yet. So it's for Encore, it's all eyes on this 374 area, right? So as long as that holds, what we're looking for Encore right now is that we want to see, it had its up move. You want to see it make a higher low and then a higher high, okay, to get that daily trend change. That will be the first thing that will be important for Encore. At the moment, that's not the case. It's just for me, it was an aggressive bull move on this falling wedge break. That's the deal with Encore Energy. Next gen. Yeah, I mean, that is a smack. I believe this was like ASX 300 inclusion or something like that. They got included in some sort of fund over in Australia that probably pumped up that volume, right? So uh, this next gen has that's the 4-hour. Next gen has lost its daily uptrend because it lost this little swing low here, right? So it was looking good, low, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high, and then smash. All right, down through the 12 EMA. So not looking the best, but I have also been talking about the weekly head and shoulders over and over, and lo and behold, it's like almost the exact level where one would expect if it's a weekly head and shoulders for it to reject. I will say positivity because this thing has maintained its trend. This horrible stock with horrible management and overspending and RSUs and whatever anybody wants to say is in blue sky breakout number 2, right? So everybody was bitching about the CEO and NASCAR and everything. Blue sky breakout. Everybody's bitching about it. Everybody's bitching about it. Everybody's bitching. Blue sky breakout again. So, you know, I'm following the price action. I could care less about the CEO and what these guys are spending. I'm sure it has an effect somewhere down the road, but not now. And this is where I'm making money. Okay. Uh, so next gen, we have to see what happens now with this weekly head and shoulders because it's there. We don't want to see this 670 level break, that's for sure. That is the deal with next gen. UEC is kind of looking a little wonky. Um, just not trading well these days, right? So that's a pure loss of trend and it's a pure continuation of the downtrend, but we're starting to get a little chopperama here. So just like everything else, you start to see something like that. It's probably like a weekly inside bar, maybe. Not really, but weekly bear flag, daily chop, 12 EMA, just can't get over and hold. So early detection of some reversals is when it starts to take this 12 EMA out, right? That's what you kind of want to see. So uh, nothing positive really about UEC. Has monthly consolidation begun? Uh, no, it has not. It's still holding monthly higher lows. So 624 is the key number there for to say that monthly consolidation is beginning, right? After, I don't know, almost a year of straight up, but the space is horrible, right, guys? Straight up for a year, and people still complain. Um, yeah, URG looks a little bit like, well, UEC a lot, right? But URG has it started its consolidation. No, we got a monthly double bottom right now at $1.54. So, that's a great level to say that I could work off of if I want. $1.54. That monthly double bottom, $1.54. Seems like a good. I don't want that. Sorry. Yeah. So let's just take a look at the weekly here and kill this thing. Just remember, I'm slow. I'm slow as it is with these things. There's guys that are faster, but I'm also hungover. So yeah. So, monthly double bottom at $1.54, weekly double bottom at $1.54, weekly 12 EMA rejection, which has been the guide forever on all of these names in the sector. So we need to, you know, don't want to lose 154 because then that's the sign that monthly consolidation is beginning on URG. So let's hope for that to hold. So, like, unlike some other names like NXZ and CCJ and whatnot, this never really confirmed a daily uptrend, right? So here's your low, here's your high, double, triple bottom, lower high, back down testing the lows. So no confirmation yet of a daily trend change. So this is just sideways action. Again, the range guys, this is not a good trader anyway, but the range guys are playing between $1.50 and $1.70. That's all they're doing. Anybody who's looking short on URG is looking short at $1.70 area, probably a little less, $1.60 area. That's where they're looking short. It's just that simple. UROY finally gets that break out of this daily falling wedge into sideways action. So it's the first positive sign, but just like the rest of the space, I mean, look, it's just a couple of days of a big fight and then it just gives it all back. A couple of days of a fight gives it all back. A couple of days of a fight gives it all back, right? So you're seeing that in the space in general, and some of the tougher names to play, like UROY, you see it more pronounced, but it's the same deal, right? So did we get monthly consolidation here? Probably, I would guess, right? What's the low? 54, 52. Yeah. So monthly consolidation here is happening. And the weekly probably doesn't look, weekly bear flag, daily bear flag. The only positive thing is that it did break out as wedge, but it's still just sideways. You'd rather see some sort of progress to the upside, and it's just not doing that. So not a lot of high conviction on this falling wedge bull break following through, to be honest with you. And the dog, right? Everybody hates this stock, but it's UUUU, in my opinion. And I've made a video on this. If you want to go back on my channel, these are the value areas. So as far as I'm concerned, when UUUU comes into the $5 range, it's a buy for me. When it comes into the $6 range, $7 range, it's a sell. That doesn't mean I'm going to sell it all. I'm definitely up, but even more so the $8 range, right? So that's like the $3 swing on that thing. That's just what it is. These are the value areas. Until something changes with these value areas, it's going to bounce in between them. It's done it forever. That's the deal on the 4Us, energy fuels. So, again, sideways, just like everything else. The space isn't doing anything. There's no one stock doing anything more special than the other, I would say, except NXT kind of looks pretty good. Uh, Looked the best for sure. That's a hell of a give back there. But like I said, I think that's a fun liquidation. URA does look the best out of the ETFs. So yeah, that's the deal. Let me just go back to one thing here because I just want to touch in on SMR. Yeah, so I did a video on this last week. There is a character change. I'm not chasing it. I'm guessing there's some good news on the part of this name. That would be my guess. I could be wrong. It's perfectly reasonable to see the rejection in this area. Um, I would like to get a position here at some point, but I'm going to wait for earnings. I'm going to wait for news. And that's the deal with SMR. I don't chase things that are running this hot, but certainly a character change for this name. I mean, it's even above its 200-day moving average. So it did some crazy work in the past 2 weeks to get out of this major, major, major hole that it was in. And it did it on a lot of volume. So it's a good sign. Usually, to me, that type of action says there's some good news coming down the pipe. We'll see. Fundamental guys will probably, maybe know better. My quick search revealed nothing, but that's as deep as I'm going to go. Over and out.